He does love the garden, so that could have been him.
Oh, really? Yeah.
You were here for the first time in 2015 with your friends in One Direction. You were 7 years old, as I recall, at that time.
Yeah, 10
and we were
years.
talking about like that
crazy.
world that you were in, where anything you guys posted became this huge thing. And I don't know if you remember, but I gave you a gift at that time. It was a potato, and what I was hoping was that you guys would.
If you guys don't know, potato, iconic part in, you know, the One Direction lore history, especially with Niall. We won't get into it. Let's just finish the clip.
Did indeed do that.
Yeah.
And the potato became, it had its own Instagram page. It had hundreds of thousands of followers. Again, this was 11 years ago. Did you guys keep the potato? Where is the potato now?
It started to sprout, and we thought that was the end of its life.
And you haven't seen it?
Weirdly enough, no. No, I haven't seen it since. Wait.
Well, Niall, I have a surprise for you.
It's here
You
tonight?
haven't seen for years. It is here tonight.
Oh,
That is the 1D potato. You may remember it originally. There's, it's got a little wear and tear on it, but this is what it
damn,
looked
that's
like.
crazy. Low key, I don't want to say this, but I feel like he hasn't really aged too much, I mean, I think, of course, like the blonde hair to like his brunette natural hair is kind of a big change. And I mean, yeah, you can tell he's kind of aged, but I think comparable to like the other guys, I don't think, he's aged pretty well. Not that they didn't, but you know what I'm saying.
Gave it to you.
I'm not sure I'm going to kiss this one.
No, don't eat that or you will die.
I know. I can tell by the smell of it.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Oh,
Get out of here.
A little bit more like a squid now than a potato.
Yeah. It looks like something else. I just don't want to say what it is.
It's great to have you here. We're excited about the tour. We hope you come here to LA. I will bring my dad to the show when you do. The new album is called Dinner Party. It comes out on June 5th. Niall Horan, everybody. Thank you, Niall. We'll be back with Aaron Moriarty.
Am I supposed to say it? Am I supposed to say it? Niall might have dropped my favorite pop album so far this year. What is up, you guys? This is Noah. We are back on the channel today. I know it's been a little while. I'm so sorry I haven't really been posting as much recently. I mean, I did post like last week, but I haven't really been posting as much as I wanted to, only because I've been getting a lot more hours work-wise and, a lot of stuff with like school and like the following semester. Been stressful, but we're getting through it. A week ago today, Niall dropped his newest and latest album, Dinner Party. You can see the smile on my face because you know how I feel about this. This is going to be a review of the album, kind of just give you guys my thoughts and what I thought about it and kind of where it stands with amongst the other Niall albums and kind of where it stands amongst my playlist this year. Before I get started, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We surpassed 300. Thank you guys so much for that. If you know anybody, if you have friends or anybody that'd be interested in watching my content, please let them know, tell them about it. Those of you guys who do clips on TikTok, clip one of my things on my videos. Just as long as it's not like, crazy, or it's not like a part where I'm saying something crazy, because then they just wouldn't look good. It just wouldn't look good for us. But we're gonna be seeing him on tour next year too. I'm so excited for that. Austin, Texas. But yeah, anyways, let's get to it. And I'm not gonna waste your time anymore. Let's talk about the album. First off, thoughts about this album, just to get this out of the way. I love this album. I really enjoyed it a lot. I think out of all the boys from One Direction, all four the four of them that dropped albums this year, this was by far my favorite out of all of their projects and albums. And I feel like, it doesn't really get talked about enough. I feel like I talk a lot about Zayn and Harry, but Niall is, especially more recent time, he's really been starting to become one of my favorite members. And I know I say that about really all of them because, they kind of just alternate, but I feel like this is definitely Niall's moment, and this album kind of just showed that. What I really liked about it a lot was that it felt like it was built upon his previous album, The Show. I feel like both of these two albums have had very similar sounds, but I feel like this was just a continuation of that with a little more implements into this album that I thought were really good, and I thought it was a really nice change of pace. I feel like what I liked is that Niall knows what like he knew what we wanted and what we liked, and I feel like he really dived in on that. I think Harry's album with Kiss All the Time Disco Occasion was really experimental and kind of different from anything we had heard from him, which is why for me personally it didn't really resonate as much as the other albums, because I wasn't expecting that sound, and I just, you know, it just didn't hit with me, like the whole disco vibe and like the alternative pop sound that he had. With Zayn, it felt like I liked his album a lot. It just felt a lot like stuff that we had kind of already heard before with a lot of the tracks. But with this album, I feel like it was just perfect, like damn near perfect. Like there's not one song in this album that I really didn't like. I liked all 12 songs, and I think 12 tracks as a track list, I think that's a good amount of songs to have. It keeps the audience invested and doesn't really grow stale. And I feel like all of the songs are so interesting. Some of them did sound the same, but like the substance in it, the lyrics, the material of what he was writing about felt so fresh, so new. It feels like he's excited to be a musician and a singer, and he likes what he does. You can definitely tell that it was really heavily inspired by his girlfriend, which I also thought is pretty cool. So right here, I have a track list of all the songs that are on the album, all 12 ranked from best to worst, in my opinion. Just to start it off, Monochromatic. My favorite song on the album. I feel like it's really starting to become the fan favorite as well. I feel like on TikTok, it's the song that I see the most like TikToks of and edits of, which I think is pretty cool. You know, you're kind of getting a bad boy vibe from Niall, you know, the church boy Niall, kind of, you know, he's kind of dabbling. I thought the lyrics were pretty interesting, you know, take it all off to your monochromatic. If you know, you know, Niall, you're a freak. Try to describe this album as a whole to somebody that doesn't listen to Niall music or that doesn't really know what to expect out of this. I would say it's pop. It's the 1975 heavily influenced meets, you know, a dabble influence from country music, modern country music with like a sprinkle of Taylor Swift's Lover album. I feel like a lot of like that pop synth sound was used a lot in a lot of these tracks, and I really liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. That's not even one of my favorite Taylor albums, but I think Niall, I don't know, like I just genuinely like this album, and I like kind of like what I was saying with the 1975. It sounds so much like the 1975 songs, and I think that's a pretty cool thing, because I love that band. I think they're pretty cool too. They made some pretty interesting pop music, but yeah, like it was genuinely refreshing to kind of hear, but just sounds so upbeat. I really liked, you know, the chorus was so catchy. Die If I Don't know if I'm tripping or not, but it sounded a lot like The Mystery of Love from that one movie, Call Me By Your Name, with Timothée Chalamet. I don't know how it goes. I'm not even gonna try it, but if you know, look it up. I got a lot of vibes from that. I got heavy vibes from that song, like with this song, Die If I Don't. I like the little violin playing at the end where it goes, okay, I'm done doing that. You know, it sounded a lot like something that would come out in like Bridgerton or something, you know, heavily Bridgerton influence too. It was really good writing, like most of the album was. Flowers, I thought that was such a chill, calm song that you can play when you're going to bed. I'd say those three songs were by far like my favorite. And then Fighting Over Nothing, I really like this track because it sounded a lot like something that was straight out of like One Direction. I don't know who wrote this song, but I feel like it was probably like written by a team that wrote a lot of One Direction songs. It sounds very much like their album 4. Like Fighting Over Nothing sounds a lot like Illusion, like Where Do Broken Hearts Go. Like it kind of follows that same format. It just sounded really nostalgic. Tastes So Good, great opener. When I first heard it, like when I first did a playthrough of the album when it dropped, I knew right off the bat, just from the opener alone, I was like, okay, like I think I'm gonna like this album, and it delivered, and I really did like it a lot. Boys Are Fun, it sounds a lot like a song that I've heard before, like in terms of like it kind of has like that classic pop sound from like the 80s and 90s. I don't know what song to kind of compare it to, but I feel like I've heard it before. I like the premise of that song too. I think it was pretty interesting. Basically he's talking and saying that, you know, if you're looking for somebody to complain about, if you're looking for a relationship that you can't get out of girls or your girlfriends, you know, talk to a boy. And I think in this situation he's talking about himself. Like he's telling his girlfriend probably when they were talking in their talking stage, like, you know, if you need something different, like I can be your different. You know, smooth, pure game. It reminded me a lot of like myself, you know, that's to my own horn, but it really did. I mean, I feel like it's just Noah coded for sure. End of an Era. the saddest song, for sure. As you guys, Niall fans would know, that this song was about Liam. Rest in peace to him again. I've talked about him a lot on my channel. Felt like, in a way, kind of like saying goodbye to an era that was once was, and that we can't really get back, and like how things can just change from like one breath to another. That's how he wrote it, but like it can just change from one day to the next. And I thought that was interesting. I thought that was a heavy theme in this album, was that kind of just like reflecting on the past and taking the good things out of it, and finding the good in the future. And I think that's something that I really, really got from this album, and I really liked it. I really liked the message. Pretty, I thought the chorus was catchy. I thought the bridge, I think it is, it's like, you're so pretty. I thought that was pretty cool. It's crazy that I have like the two lead singles so low on the list. And that's not to me saying I didn't like them. You guys know I reacted to A Little More Time on this channel, and I really did enjoy it, but I genuinely just liked so many of the other songs a lot more. But like I said in the review with A Little More Time, I thought the message was cool. Kind of like what I was saying before, like things change from one day to the next, and things kind of just reflecting on it and kind of just wishing that he had a little more time to just be present in the now, to kind of enjoy the most that he can out of the memories that he's making with his friends and with his family and with his girlfriend, and just kind of cherishing that moment, because you never know when it's gonna go or how long it's gonna last. Dinner Party, I liked it. Cool little pop track. And then She Gets It From Her Mother. This was like the most country sounding song. She gets it from her mother. I like country music, not my particular bias, but I think it sounded good for this song. I would definitely listen to it on my own time. I liked it a lot. I know a lot of people didn't really like it as much as the other tracks. And then Better Man sounded like something straight out of Flicker, his first album, which is kind of like that more singer-songwriter, folk type of music vibe. I think it was like the only song I probably wouldn't listen to on a normal basis, or like on a day-to-day, or have in my playlist, but I still think it was good. I don't think it was a bad song. It's kind of talking about, like kind of questioning if he is like the right person for her, kind of questioning if he's doing good enough for her, and kind of questioning, like, I think something that a lot of, boyfriends or just people in relationships do is like, could this significant other be getting something more from somebody else, or could somebody else be treating them better than I do, or than I can? It's something that I feel like it's like that sticks in a lot of minds, which I think is such a cool concept, because I feel like that doesn't really get talked about in a lot of tracks, or a lot of people, like a lot of popular songs don't really talk about it, that subject of like, kind of like that fear, or that realization of like, can your person, your girlfriend or boyfriend, be getting something better from, like, be getting treated better, or be getting more out of somebody else in their life, and kind of just questioning that, and kind of in a way being insecure about that, but like also just being like, like, I wonder if I'm doing good enough. And I think that was such a cool premise. I think what I really liked about this album too is just like kind of how every song, I feel like it's just so refreshing. It has such a cool sound. I feel like a lot of pop artists today, like pop boy artists, are copying the 1975 sound. And I don't think that's bad, because I genuinely love their sound. I think they're a good pop band. And I feel like Niall is one of those examples, but I feel like it's just so refreshing to kind of hear him. And I feel like the substance of what his album is about was something that I really, really heavily enjoyed. Kind of like tackling those deeper themes, like I said, in a pop album, of like cherishing the time that you have, being in the present, being in the now, kind of experiencing like loss, and kind of just like how that, just can change from one day to the next, and like how, like, and a lot of times in our life we don't really get to say goodbye, we don't really get a proper ending with people, but learning to be like okay with that, and just kind of cherishing the good moments that we had. He talks about a lot about like his relationship. You have fun songs like Boys Are Fun and Fighting Over Nothing, where it's kind of talking about like like just like the F-boy part of the relationship, where it's just like I can be there, and I can be a fun time for you if you need me. Fighting Over Nothing, like kind of talking about like, what are we arguing about, like let's just make love. Monochromatic, Freak, you know, like I said, kind of felt like a Zayn song, but it wasn't a Niall album, but you know, it's still my favorite track. Tastes So Good. That song's kind of about like him meeting her for the first time and kind of that rush that you get when you meet somebody new, which I also thought was pretty cool. The reason why he called this album Dinner Party was because he met his girlfriend at a dinner party. I thought that was cute. That was really sweet. Generally just can't say enough good things about it. I really liked it. As far as where it ranks amongst the other Niall albums, I wouldn't be able to tell you, only because I like all of Niall's albums. I think all of them sound really different. I think The Show and this one, Dinner Party, kind of sound similar and kind of just feel like a part 1 and part 2. But the themes are just so different though. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this album. It made me excited. Like I was kind of scared, to be honest, like if I didn't like it, the way I did with a lot of other albums this year, or if like it didn't live up to the hype for me because I had paid so much to kind of see him in concert. It's still gonna be an exciting thing just to see him live for the first time, but I was scared because like, what if I don't like this album? What if I don't like the tracks in this album? But I genuinely did. Like I really did, and it just made me more excited for him to play these songs live, because a lot of them are so fun. Like Tastes So Good, Fighting Over Nothing, Boys Are Fun, Monochromatic. Those are all cool songs to be playing in a concert. And then also just like his oldies, like, you know, This Town, Slow Hands, Black and White, No Judgment, Heaven, Must Be Love. I really am excited. I am so excited for the concert next year. We will be there. I'm going to vlog it probably. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this album. I really did enjoy it. I really liked it a lot. Something for you guys to comment is just what did you think about the album? What were your thoughts on the album? What was your favorite song on the album? I will respond to all the comments. I'm sorry I haven't been as active as I should be or as I've wanted to be, but you know, I've just been really busy. But we are going to be doing some more stuff soon. I think my next video that I'm going to be posting or uploading is going to be about Role Model. If you guys want to see that, please let me know in the comments. If you have any other suggestions that you want me to see or you want me to check out, please let me know. If I were to give it a rating, my own personal opinion, I'm giving it like a 9. Like I genuinely did like it. I don't think it was groundbreaking or anything, or I don't think it was like, oh, the best pop album of all time, but for what it was, it really exceeded my expectations and I liked it a lot. So, but I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section, and if you guys have any recommendations or any other artists you want me to check out or review or talk about, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. When you guys comment, it really does make me happy, and it really makes me proud to know that, you know, my videos are actually being watched and being paid attention to, and that my voice is being paid attention to, because it means a lot to me, and you guys mean a lot to me, and I'm thankful for all of you guys that have been here on this journey with me, that are going to continue to be on this journey with me. So thank you guys so much. Just wanted to say that, and yeah, love you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one.